This video exists for one reason, to hand you the exact system I use to route over $1 billion in opportunities for my clients, a system that makes me over $2 million per year, and give it to you for free. ConnectOS is live. It's not a SaaS. It's not a cold email tool. It's a motion protocol, an infrastructure for a connector built to match demand and supply without you doing any crazy work. And in this video, I'm pulling back the curtain, not holding anything back. You'll see exactly how to use it to print cold hard cash yourself. Because honestly, I have one goal that won't let me sleep, which is getting 1,000 people to 1030K a month. And I'm not just demoing it. I'm using it live in front of you to create money out of thin air. And yes, this is completely free because if you know how to move like that 10 to 30K a month you want is peanuts compared to what's actually happening in the real world. So let's begin. Let me show you the first page. This is ConnectOS. No login, no signups, no paywall, just open. And I built this with a Paul Graham lens, raw utility, zero friction. You don't need an account. You don't need permission. You just use it like an infrastructure, not a software. It's closer to an open source motion layer than a typical SaaS. And that really puts it in like a weird category. And that's the whole point. Most tools ask for your email before you even understand what they do. I'd rather show you something useful, something that makes you money, and let the value speak first. You don't sign up, you just plug in. That's it. So let me just walk you through it. So first you got to the infrastructure for a connector, find who needs who at the right time and get paid. Super simple. You have one button here, which is get access and see how the money moves, which takes you to the user's manual. If you click on get access, you're going to get redirected to the launcher where you have the tools. Okay. If I scroll down, this is like a beautiful graph that I made here, which is essentially has like a kind of like a sneak peek of what's ConnectOS inside the Machine engine. If I scroll down, obviously you got a couple components here. We got both sides get messaged. Whoever applies first wins. You're not convincing anyone. You're finding people who are already looking. The system shows you who. You just reach out. So signals come in, the system matches the surface and you route. Simple, right? This is like a graph that shows you the demand and supply. And this is you, right? So the demand is companies with any need and supply people or companies, again, who can solve it. All right. So you don't create a problem. You just control the intro and you get paid like access fees, retainers, commissions, which is exactly what I'm doing right now with my agency, Myo Process. Okay. Obviously, this is like the daily routine to that 25, 50K a month. You got 10 minutes, right? Literally just 10 minutes because the system does everything for you. You got 10 minutes in the morning, replies come to you. So the only thing you have to do literally is just open ConnectOS, scan for pressure, let the system match, send intros, leave. Okay, you can go ahead and have your walk or, I don't know, do whatever you want. And then you go back later and then replies arrive in inbound. Okay, you decide who meets, connect or wait. No content. You don't have to like be like a slave of the content machines, right? No ads, no explaining. Okay. And if I scroll down, this is basically who is built for. And the reason why I added this is because honestly, it's probably going to speak to most of you guys. A lot of you are AI freelancers, automation builders, maybe just get into freelancing. Some of you maybe are complete beginners. Some of you are already running agencies or full stack ops based with crazy NA10 and clay tables. It doesn't really matter. ConnectOS handles all of it for you. You could have never touched an AI tool or you could have built the wildest automation out there. The system just tells you what to do, when to do it, and you just move. And just to be super real with you guys, I built this because I used to spend 45 minutes per client manually mapping signals every single day. I work with 6 clients, and that alone brings me like 186K a month. It's super nice, but that 45 minutes is a lot of time for 6 clients. But now with ConnectOS, it just takes a couple seconds. ConnectOS does it all. And also I have one goal, which is hitting 250K a month in 2026. And also the biggest goal, which is getting 1,000 people to 10 to 30K a month. That's a pattern that I'm currently seeing every single day. This thought never leaves my mind. Maybe it's my purpose. Who knows? All I know is I'll die happy knowing I did what I was here to do. And I'll be happy knowing that I changed real lives, okay? I already know like dozens are already at like 40K a month, which is nice, but the goal is 1,000 people, okay? So again, you can totally like give this page a look, but let me just show you kind of like the user's manual, and then I'm going to show you the access, etc. And then we're going to launch everything live together. I'm going to go to user's manual. So this takes you to the system architecture. So it's going to explain to you what ConnectOS does, essentially how to use it, etc. So the system, this is like the first component. ConnectOS and infrastructure runs continuously, watching for signals, surface, and matches, waiting for your decision. Has this beautiful graph, which is signals, matching, routing, and this is you. Okay, so what happens when you open it? Signals have already been collected, matches have already been scored through the system, right? In the backend, the system has done the work before you arrived. You're not searching, you're scanning what's already been prepared for you. Okay, there's like pre-enrichment for you. Okay. What you don't see is behind the interface, pressure is being detected across thousands of data points. Companies hiring, funding announced, leadership changes, expansion signals. The system reads these patterns and inverts them. Who has the need and who has the solution automatically, okay? Now, what you control is the timing. You decide when or if the intro happens. The system surfaces the opportunity. You control the gates. That's where the leverage lives. Okay, that's how you become uncuttable. If I go to signals, you're going to notice there's, again, a couple graphs so you can understand. So the system launches, companies announce things every day, hiring, funding, expansion. Most people miss this. You won't, obviously. The hiring, funding, these are all like pain signals. Where signals come from? They come from either job boards, LinkedIn, funding databases. The system pulls from sources you never have to monitor manually. Okay. If I go to matching, for every need, there's someone who solves it, obviously in every market. So the system finds both. You decide if they need. There's a demand here, there's a supply, there's the match score. So it kind of like gives you like a score. Industry aligned with the role is fit and location match and time in now. So what you decide is the system is going to suggest you the best matches with like a confidence score. You approve. Some matches are obviously going to be obvious. You route them immediately. Some need judgment. Your operator judgment. You wait to gather more context or skip entirely. You control the gate. Okay. Obviously, you have to keep in mind no other tool connects demand to supply with timing. This is the difference. Like Clay just gives you data. Apollo gives you contacts. But ConnectOS shows you where the real money is, and you just make the intro. In terms of the replies, right? There's like you send a reply, the system handles what comes next or waits for you to decide. So I added like an instantly integration, which means when someone replies, they get added to like a component called inbound. I'm going to walk you through it, and essentially it replies on behalf of you based off millions and millions of copies and replies that I've previously wrote myself for clients that I've onboarded before, for my own outreach throughout my entire career. So the brain, it's called like a brain system here. It's fine-tuned by millions and millions of, like, it's kind of like, imagine you guys, I put my brain inside that brain, right? And it replies like me, okay? If I go to routing, so match appears, you approve, system enriches, intro sent. That's literally it, okay? This is the voice. This is the FAQ. Make sure to look at this FAQ. This is the common questions if you guys have it. Token protection. You can literally just navigate away from ConnectOS, let it do its thing, close the browser, come back tomorrow. Your enrichment data stays, no duplicate changes. Because we have like a memory, which is instant. The local is 30 minutes in your browser. The database is stored forever. Okay. Another thing is the demand. Demand and supply. You get like an explanation of what demand and supply is set up. The message guide. So whatever you have, whatever like pop out that shows, I believe it's called like a toast notification. Yeah. So if you have these, you're just going to have to follow the instructions here. Your supply doesn't match this category, add providers who serve this vertical, etc. Another thing, which is background processing. Enrichment runs in the background while you work. Okay, so you close the tab, grab a coffee, come back, completed work is saved, and progress work resumes. This is how you reset your password, etc., etc. There's a dual send, which means both sides get outreach. Whoever applies first reveals timing. You control the conversation. Another thing is whenever someone enriches data, you never have to pay again for it, okay? So there's like token protection, which means any decision maker email found, it gets stored to the database. So you don't have to like pay again or like call that API again, okay? It's kind of like what these huge platforms do is they save that in a database. That way you don't get charged again, okay? These are the mental models, okay? This is like $0 to $2 million a year, kind of like my story. This is like the wall of winners where basically every member that I know like makes a ton of money. It's there. A bunch of mental models here. What is the connector? Okay, a connector is someone who brings together two parties who need each other but haven't found each other yet. Think of yourself as a bridge. The psychology of connection. Why B2B businesses trust connectors? Because they naturally trust recommendations from a third party rather than direct sales pitches, especially in 2025, going forward in 2026. The bar authority here. As a connector, you can borrow a credibility. This is exactly what I use. Again, this is what allowed me scale. When you're talking to service providers, I know exactly what clients you are looking for. And when talking to clients, I know which service providers deliver results. Again, it's called borrowed authority. It's like a premium positioning. The 3 personalities, which is depending on your market, you have to pick your mythic identity. You don't just exist, obviously, in the world. You embody a role that people project meaning into. So there's the insider, which means I've worked with this industry. I know all the players. The researcher, which is I've done the hard work of finding and vetting the best options, which means when you get on a call, this is how you want to frame yourself. This is the archetypes they want to be in, the loadout. The network hub, I maintain relationships with the top providers in the space, and then you want to create your own connector story. You can definitely just copy these ones, right? What is Connector OS? Obviously here, it essentially detects the need, finds supply, etc. It lets you control the intro. Again, how to fail using inversion. I'm a huge fan of Charlie Munger. He always inverts. What I mean by inverting, instead of like trying to fix a problem forwardly, you do it using inversion, which means instead of saying, how can I become successful? We say, what are the dumb things I could do to actually become broke? And you never go there. Just like he said, the only place that I want to know is a place where I'm going to die, so I never go there, right? So here's how to fail, guys. This is exactly what you want to do if you want to fail. Hop between tools, obviously. Jump from tool. It's called like monkey hopping. Again, Charlie Munger says it. I'm just quoting him because I'm a big fan. You don't want to hop between tools if you want to fail, all right? And I've been saying this for a year, to be honest, right? You don't want to hop between tools. You don't want to hop the niches, etc. Also, sell instead of route. Position yourself as a vendor. Compete on price, just like 99% of AI freelancers nowadays and agencies, to be fair, which is the reason why like all automation agencies have gone broke in the last 3 months. Send volume instead of being selective. Let them compare with cheap alternatives. Become a commodity. The moment you say, I have leads for you, again, never say that, you become a pipe. Pipes get replaced by cheaper pipes, but the person who says, I might know someone, if the timing is right, that person has leverage. One is begging, the other one is filtering. The market pays filters and commoditize pipes. Talk instead of observe. Again, you can essentially just give that a read, and at the end, avoid these. Now, avoid these, right? Now, let me just go back here. This is the Connector OS launcher. Obviously, if I go here, this is basically the homepage. You click on Get Access, you're here. This is a quick start on how to actually do it. Okay, we got the matching engine, which is exactly what we're going to be using today. All right, go back. This is the message simulator. This is the brain that I spoke about earlier, which essentially, it's the cool part is that you can put a thread. Let's say you receive a reply. This is them. You put the message and generate a reply, the meaning, you get the interpretation, and you get the exact reply, just like I would write it, and the next steps. Okay. And also it's multi-thread, which means, let's say you use this, and you reply, they send you another reply. Okay. And you don't know what to say. Well, again, you can just paste in tabs. For example, if I put plus, I'll add a couple ones, another ones. And the intensity of the message is going to slowly and surely copy your own tone and gets you closer to the deal. Okay. So it's kind of like understand the whole context of the entire thread. Okay. Anyways, let me go back. Obviously here, your account, you can change your passwords in my email. You got the settings, you got the library. This is the revenue thing where you can essentially see how much you could earn per month. This is the inbound, which the replies are going to come in, right? If I click on it, you're going to see that, every reply that we get is going to be auto-populated here in the inbound. You can refresh it, okay? Instead of like going to instantly. And instantly, by the way, is a cold email software. Again, there's multiple things here. The deal flow visualizer, which is map where the flow breaks. This is going to come soon. So essentially, it's just going to map where you're messing up, and it's going to give you exactly what to do, next steps, etc., and what are the issues. This is the domain warm-up radar. This is extremely valuable because like a lot of people don't know if they're landing in spam. And this tool will map exactly if you're landing in spam or not and tell you exactly which senders are actually burning. Okay, so you don't waste money and time and energy and all these headaches because I've been through it all. Okay, so now enough talking. Let's actually do this. I'm gonna go to the matching engine. Okay, this is the interface, and I'm gonna go to settings, and I'm going to show you guys how to authenticate your account, how to set up the tokens, everything really. So you see this Epify API token. This is where you put your Epify token here. You want to go to Epify, okay? And then you want to go to console. This is your account. You want to make sure you are in settings, and all you got to do is want to scroll up. You want to go to API integrations, and then you want to copy your API key. You want to copy it and you want to go back to ConnectOS, and the only thing you have to do is just paste in your Apify token. Okay. Now you see this demand. This could be any type of demand, companies or people who need something. And this is supply, dataset ID. Again, just a dataset ID. I'm going to show you in Apify. This is people or companies who can provide it. Okay. For instance, I have like a dataset ID. If I go to my runs, I have a run with 245 results in datasets. I'm going to click on it. And I have another one, which is this leads finder. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a random one, like IT companies, right? I'm going to make sure I go to runs. I'm going to click on my last run. And then I'm going to go to storage. And this is my dataset ID. Okay. So this is who needs something. So this is demand. I'm going to paste it here and check this out. Now, if I click on validate, I'm going to get connected to 254 records, which means you got 0% emails because depending on whatever scrape you have, whatever scraper or whatever actor you use in Apify, the system is going to give you kind of like how many percentages of emails are in there, the names, companies, etc. And then from the data that we have here is going to continue the enrichment. For instance, if we have, for example, this is the supply, I click on validate, I'm going to get 300 records again. Here, I have the emails. So here, we're just going to validate them. We don't need to find them, okay? And then we got the names, got the companies, 0% domain. So whatever you put inside is going to use whatever you have, right? Whatever scraper gives you, whatever companies, domains, emails, just full names, etc., and it's going to enrich for you. Now, notice this targeting filter is ready. This is going to solve a lot of problems because if you put the demand or supply, you don't know what kind of filters you want to put and Apify to scrape. So once you put the demand, you click validate, targeting filter is ready, click on it, boom, done. So you got the decision makers. The only thing you have to do is simply just copy them and put them in your Apify scraper. Industry, what kind of industry you want to connect? Both sides. The keywords, the company size. And the way it works, it matches the exact keywords from the demand to the supply. Also, the exclude keywords. You want to exclude all these keywords on your Apify scrape. So this is exactly what I've done. And I have this dataset ID, which is again is going to be here. If I click on runs, I go to the last run, I go to storage. Again, I got the last dataset ID. Okay, so this is the exact scrape that I've scraped before this video right here. And this is the exact dataset ID. Okay, once I put, again, the dataset of the demand there, I got the filters, etc. And I scraped another one and I just put it right here. Okay, this is the one. Okay, and that's all you got to do. You want to save this. You want to go back to targeting. Thank you. Want to go to outreach. This is where you want to put your API key and Apollo. This is where you want to go. You want to go to developers.apollo.io keys. And I already have like a couple API keys here. So the only thing I have to do is create a new key and make sure it's a master key all the time. Okay. For example, I'm just going to name this, I don't know, demo, create API key. And this is my API key. Copy it and put it right here. Okay, done. Now, this is the email finder key. This is a fallback when Apollo can't find the email. I'm going to have to upgrade it now. I'm just going to buy like a new account and I'm going to show you. So I'm out of credits. I'm going to purchase credits now. Monthly, I'm going to get the 400 done. Select plan. And I'm simply just going to pay for it right now. Going to add a card. And let me just pull my card and I'm going to get back to you guys. All right, I'm done. So I got my credits here. I get my API key. I'm going to copy it and then simply just put it in an email finder. And this is the Instantly API key. The way you want to get it, you want to go to Instantly, log in. And then you're simply just going to put your API key here. Instantly is taking its sweet ass time for some weird reason. So let's wait for Instantly because it's taking a bit too long. I don't know why, but you're just going to put your Instantly API key. It's in settings, integrations, etc. And then the demand campaign is basically your demand campaign. So I'm just going to create a campaign. I'm just going to wait for Instantly to finish. They're making like millions of dollars, but they still haven't fixed their weird UI, right? You're just going to put the demand campaign here, the supply campaign, and obviously Azure. I'm just using Azure. You can put, I don't know, like Anthropic, OpenAI, whatever you want, okay? I'm going to click on save, okay? If I go to account, this is basically your account, how you want to like change your password, etc., etc. Done. So if I click on match an engine now, all I got to do is basically click on refresh and I'm done. Boom. Find decision makers. Obviously, you got the like the system is gonna auto scale as you want. For example, if you want like 400 or 500, you can put whatever you want. I'm just gonna put, for example, 100 today, because I wanna put 100, and you can see looking up decision makers. 1 of 25 companies created, 1 ready. So it's finding decision makers for you, right? So we got 62 companies hiring. Plum FinTech, Kadeem, Flixer, and the system automatically matched them. So 90 best matches based off supply and demand. Okay, so if I click on, you see the send. So it's ready. It's all like literally ready. Like I said, that's the only thing you have to do. And now if I click on find contact, we know this person, no charge for you, because I believe in this data says already like ran it. Yeah, you see, we found the contact and we matched them with Tech Talent Agency, and this Tech Talent Agency, let me just go for it. So you can see. So let me go back. Output. Let me Control F. Boom. There we go. This is the exact match. Tech Talent Agency. Let's look at them in LinkedIn. There we go. Tech Talent Agency. It's a woman-owned tech recruitment. All right. There we go. Tech Talent Agency. So we can match them with what? Pleo.io. Smart spend management you can trust. So automate your spend. Okay, so they are hiring. Crazy. They have Blinkist. This crazy social proof. So they are hiring for what? So check this out. Why does match? Pleo is hiring for software engineers. Tech Talent Strategy places software engineer teams. Boom, done. Right? We can also match them with a bunch of other ones. Like, so these are like the 89 matches, right? We got 89 matches here. Looks like we discarded one. Yeah, which is pretty good. LS Staffing. Boom. We already found the decision makers. Christine Heck, right? Awesome. So why does match? Pleo is hiring. LC places teams like this. Done. Again, same thing. So all I got to do is we have already like 10 out of 25 companies are checked. Awesome. So we can send 10 all the way to the supply and demand. But let's wait for instantly. I don't know why it's not loading my campaigns. Anyways, let's Connector OS do its thing. Probably I need to build my own instantly. What do you guys think? Right? Let's look at Plum FinTech. Boom. So Plum FinTech is hiring. Hey, Victor, saw Plum FinTech hiring for 3 roles, marketing, copywriter, IS dev. I know someone at Tech Talent and Strategy who fills these roles fast. Want an intro? Hey, Betsy, Plum FinTech is actively hiring for engineering roles. Victor, whatever, is a hiring owner. Your team at Tech Talent Strategy could be a strong fit, right? We already at 25, done. All right, let me check instantly. All right, finally, they stopped being annoying. Now we can actually do our work. Let me show you how you can add your API key. You want to go to settings, want to go to integrations, API keys, create your API key. You can name this whatever you want. Scope, make sure it's all in all, and click on create, okay? And then you want to paste it, like I said, here in settings, right? And your outreach. And instantly, and the demand campaign ID obviously is going to be in demand, this is my API key. And then the supply, same thing, supply, which is this one. Obviously, I have no leads here, nothing. Let me show you so you can actually see nothing. All right. Now, if I essentially just go back, obviously, all my stuff is still here, which is awesome. Let me click on send. And there we go. So send in 1 to 23. You can either send from like company or provider or both. You got 2 options, right? You got 2 buttons, right? So 3, I go to leads. Awesome. Done. So this is the demand, obviously. You can see here. So I'm sending 7 to 23. Already sent 10. Nice. 12. Now, obviously, if I scroll down, I can add more, right? Awesome. Now, all I gotta do is just go to the demand and put personalization. Let me add a subject line, for example, quick intro, question mark, save. Now, if I go to leads, check this out. Let me check this. So 23 cents, okay? 77 more to go. All right, sweet. So now I sent 23, 77 more to go. 37 added here. I'm going to send again. Sweet. Probably going to cap it at like 50, right? Again, send in 1 to 37, 7 to 37, 8 to 37. Awesome. So I found Matt or mate, whatever. Hey, mates. So, I'll match them with LC Staffing. Okay, I'll send it to provider. Lead sent. Okay, let me see if I can find this person. Found. Awesome. So I will match them with Orbis. I already found Alex. I'm going to send it to the provider. Great. Let me go to demand. This is demand. Go to supply again. Awesome. Now check this out. Hey, Betsy. Plum FinTech is actively hiring for engineering roles. Victor, whatever, is the hiring owner. Awesome. I'm also going to send to the provider here. All right, let me check Moloko. Found Srisha. So I'm going to match them with on partners and send both. Awesome. And at the end, I'm going to double check everything in my Insta campaign. Let's check Kaidim. So batch complete 37 cents. Okay, I can match them with who? Damn. I mean, I trust the system. I don't really care. So I'll send to both. Send both. Great. Come on, instantly. Awesome. They're probably fixing some sort of bug. Maybe their dev team is like working. Work harder. All right, the demand, we got a lot of demand, obviously. Yeah. Which is good to show you guys that within the recruitment space, they're always freaking hiring. So I have my personalization here. I'm going to say, hey, worth the intro. That's it. Because I'm a connector. I don't need to chase. Step 3, hey, I'm not even going to say a name. Hey, looks like this is not a priority right now. Wishing you the best. And save. Sends from my iPhone. Let me go here, and then I'm going to say SAT. Let's check this. Already done. I'm going to add credit flow. I already sent this. Adapt, done. Let's check speed mechanics. Found Brad. And I connect them with Conus. Let's see. WeCareer. We already got them. Both. Send to demand. Great. Campaign saved. Awesome. So let me just go to supply. Let me double check. Obviously, you have to double check as an operator. This is demand, and let me go back to supply. I'll add one more, and that's it. We already know this person, so let me just add them to the greener. Send both, yeah. Awesome. And I am done. Okay, so I'm just going to add again personalization, same thing. Save. In the supply, I'm going to add again quick intro. Let me save. I'm going to go to add step. Hey, first name. Let's say, is this worth your time? And at the end, we're going to say, hey, first name. Again, same thing. Looks like this isn't a priority right now. Either way, wishing you the best. P.S. If you still want the intro, just let me know. Sweet. I'm going to go to schedule. I'm going to make sure it's Monday to Saturday. So 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Click on save. I'm going to pick a couple inboxes. Not that much, to be honest. That's it. And I'm going to launch. That's it. So supply is launched. Now we're going to launch demand again. Same thing. We're going to do Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Click on save. Pick the same ones here. Launch. And we are live. So we launched both the demand and the supply. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just going to wait until opportunities come our way. This is how the universe works. All right. So this is the next day and we generated 3 sales opportunities, 2 from the supply side and 1 from the demand side. So this lady right here, she said, hey, thanks for flagging this. Yes, open to an introduction. How do you typically do this? So my initial message was, hey Betsy, hey Betsy, Plum FinTech is actively hiring for engineering roles. Victor, CEO, is the hiring owner. Thought your team at Tech Talent and Strategy could be a strong fit. Want me to connect you? And funny enough, we received a reply from the guy, Victor, the man himself, right? Let me show you guys what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to Connector OS. And I'm just going to use the message simulator so you guys can see how it's going to reply. So this is supply, yes. So supply, all I got to do is just copy my message. Me plus, that's it. Just add it to the thread, copy this, their last reply, generate reply. So, meaning interested but needs clarity on what you're offering, reply, happy to explain what roles are you trying to fill right now. Wait for the reply. This is the next step. All you got to do is basically just copy this, boom, and then you just reply. That's literally it, okay? So this is the first one, Tech Talent and Strategy. Let's check Christine Heck, L Staffing. What's the angle here? Is there a fee involved? So hey, Christine, Primitive is actively hiring for engineering roles. Mate, this is the guy, engineer manager, is the hiring owner. Thought your team at LC Staffing could be a strong fit. So let me copy this. Again, same thing. Delete, base message, add, and then go back, and then copy this. At this stage, it's just a quick alignment. If it makes sense, happy to walk you through it briefly and see if it's worth taking further. See how it replies? Oh, interested but needs clarity on what you're offering. So the only thing you have to do is copy this and boom, you're done. Okay, let's check the last one, which is, this is the actual demand side that replied on behalf of Betsy, right? So he said, happy to review. What are the next steps? Feel free to share the details. Thanks, Victor. So yeah, this is interesting, right? We generate these sales opportunities. And if you notice here, let me just explain to you. So here, this is exactly what I mean by the holder of opposites, right? You control the gate. Now, these intros will never happen until I actually facilitate them, right? So it's just gets to show you guys that you control the power, right? So both of these sides, whatever, it could be any niche, right? It doesn't have to be like a recruitment or staffing with a company hiring. It could be anything really. Any niche where there's a beautiful supply and demand between each sides. Okay, so this is how it works, right? So this is the supply here and this is the demand. And this is you, right? You sit between both sides, right? And you see, like, I purposely added like, it's kind of like this is like a door, right? So there's this door here, and no side can actually see the other side or connect with the other side until they pay, right? This is what I mean by controlling the gate. This is why you're uncuttable as a connector, right? So that's how it works, right? They will never be connected until I actually open the gates, right? As a bouncer. Anyways, but yeah, now you have Connector OS. It's free. Matching Engine is free. You guys can just play around with it, make a ton of money, etc. By the way, if you go here, I simply just added these last few wins. If you scroll down, I actually generated like plus $800,000 in like wins, right? If I go here, see this. These are like the actual LinkedIn's of the people that actually print in money right now. This is like Aaron. He's like 19 years old, I believe. Yeah, he's 19. This is John. He's very, very good at sales, man. Like he's one of the best salespeople I've ever seen, right? There's Joshua. He's killing it. Shout out to this guy. He's killing it on LinkedIn. So I also like left their LinkedIn. If you guys wanna like check them out, just me like making sure that these people, these lovely people, actually get some traction to maybe like, I don't know, like a client that would want to work with me that is watching this can just go ahead and talk to these people right here. Okay, I'm quite bottleneck when it comes to clients. I don't need any more clients. I'm already working with 6 and it's just taking too much of my time. But anyways, hopefully you guys found value in this video. I'm gonna leave you Connector OS in the description as always. And yeah, you just saw me do this live in front of you, so why can't you do it too, right? Someone has to do it. Why not you? I literally have like a poster in my room. Someone has to do it. Why not you? Should probably tattoo this. But yeah, hopefully you guys found that in this one. Like I always say, get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.